Hey guys, Zen here, and something cracked in the universe today because Microsoft and Xbox announced that they're acquiring Activision Blizzard for $70 billion. Now guys, this is a huge announcement, one that I just couldn't pass up on and wanted to make a dedicated video about because there is so much to unpack with this huge deal, and I wanted to bring it to you guys. So Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, now known as the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, put out a blog post detailing the acquisition to purchase Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion, which is the largest entertainment business transaction in history. This is more than Disney paid for Star Wars or even Microsoft's own buyout of Bethesda, and most recently Take-Two purchased Zynga for a whopping $12 billion, but this just blows all of that out of the water by a massive margin. So what does it include? Well, Microsoft now owns Call of Duty, StarCraft, Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Candy Crush, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, the Tony Hawk games, and so many more franchises under that umbrella. It's just mind-blowing to think that out of the big three, Microsoft used to have the least amount of first-party studios making games for them, and now in just under 2 years, they've been able to acquire these huge publishers and have the most first-party studios working on games for their platform. So at this moment, until the transaction closes, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft Gaming will still be working independently of one another. But once the deal is complete, Activision Blizzard will report directly to the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, which means at that point, every single one of these games and franchises will live under that umbrella. They say, upon close, we will offer as many Activision Blizzard games as we can with an Xbox Game Pass and PC Game Pass, both new titles and games from Activision Blizzard's incredible catalog. We also announced today that Game Pass now has more than 25 million subscribers. As always, we look forward to continuing to add more value and more great games to Game Pass. The fantastic franchises across Activision Blizzard will also accelerate our plans for cloud gaming, allowing more people in more places around the world to participate in the Xbox community using phones, tablets, laptops, and other devices you already own. Activision Blizzard games are enjoyed on a variety of platforms, and we plan to continue to support those communities moving forward. Now, the timing of this deal is just critical to the story because as of recently, Activision has really struggled to stay in the good graces of the gamers. There's been misconduct and harassment accusations thrown at them, and even some developers going on strike because of some of this stuff. And it just couldn't have been a better time for Microsoft to swoop in and make this monumental deal with this huge publisher. Now, of course, the biggest question is what happens to all of these franchises and games on PlayStation? They're the biggest competitors to Microsoft, and they've been going at war recently over buying studios and signing studios to their first-party lineup. And so what happens to games like Call of Duty and Overwatch on the PlayStation side of things? So a while back, Microsoft bought Mojang and Minecraft, and at the time, it was one of the biggest gaming acquisitions of all time. And since then, it's been one of the most successful gaming properties that they have and has done really well on multiple platforms, PlayStation included. So when you look at this deal, and specifically Call of Duty being such a huge franchise for Activision, is it in Microsoft's best interest to make that an exclusive Xbox title? Because even if you look at the NPDs from last year, the best-selling PlayStation game was Call of Duty, and millions of gamers buy Call of Duty on PlayStation and other platforms outside of Xbox. With Microsoft's commitment to Game Pass and cloud gaming, it's pretty clear that they're wanting the Xbox to transcend just the consoles that you play their games on. It's now just a full-on ecosystem, and with acquisitions like this, they're bringing in a bunch of new studios and games and franchises that just adds to the value of the platform. And so now, no matter what platform you're on, you're playing Xbox games or you're within that Xbox ecosystem, and that's the key to what's really important to Microsoft right now. Now, of course, it's still very early on, but I'd honestly be surprised if Call of Duty was now a full-on Xbox exclusive. There are millions of gamers that play Call of Duty on PlayStation, and it would really be surprising to have Microsoft just throw all of them out and force them to get an Xbox to play Call of Duty. Would there be some conversion? Of course. There are people that love to play Call of Duty and don't care if it's on an Xbox or a PlayStation. But for the people that are already established on PlayStation, have their friend group there, and they all play Call of Duty together, I don't think Microsoft would just throw that away and then tell them that they must get an Xbox to enjoy that experience. But make no mistake, that's just Call of Duty. That's just one multi-platform game. And they've just acquired more than a handful of some of the biggest franchises in gaming's history. And as a follow-up to this deal, Bobby Kotick, the current CEO of Activision, had this to say in an email to staff. He says, transactions like these can take a a long time to complete. Until we receive all the necessary regulatory approvals and other customary closing conditions are satisfied, which we expect to be sometime in Microsoft's fiscal 2023 year, ending June 30th of 2023. We will continue to operate completely autonomously. Of course, this announcement will give rise to so many questions. We'll host numerous forums and events to make certain we address your concerns. I'm incredibly proud of this company, you, and the work we've done together. Now, it's on to our next chapter and the endless possibilities this transaction represents for us. So, as we discussed in this video, Activision has been on a rocky road recently, with the CEO being a major point of contention there. And on the flip side, Microsoft has had incredible momentum moving into this generation. And so this deal could actually be a way for people to see Activision in a new light. And so this has been a monumental deal, something that I don't think anyone truly expected. I know for myself, this was something that came as an absolute shocking surprise when I woke up and saw this news. And it's literally history being made right in front of our eyes. I think it's obvious. All eyes are currently on Sony and seeing what they do next. How do you compare to an acquisition of this caliber? Even if they were to pick up Square Enix, which there's been a long-term partnership with PlayStation and Square Enix, and I think it would make sense for them to acquire them, but even if they pick them up, it still wouldn't compare really at all to Activision Blizzard. I mean, Activision Blizzard has World of Warcraft, one of the longest running live service games of our time, and now that's just under Microsoft's control. And again, on mobile platforms where us core gamers don't always live, they have Candy Crush, right? That is huge. That is such a big title for them to have control over, and just a money machine for mobile gaming. And Microsoft has control of that now as well. Now, of course, Sony still has some of the best first-party games in the industry. Games like God of War, The Last of Us, the Uncharted series, and so many more. There's still plenty of reasons to be playing on PlayStation, and I think the future looks bright for the platform. I'm really excited personally for the PSVR 2. I think that's going to be a big deal, but it's undeniable that what Microsoft is doing is having an effect on PlayStation's business. It's been all but confirmed that PlayStation is releasing Spartacus, which is a Game Pass-like subscription service where you'll download games and play them right off of your console, just like you do on Microsoft's side of things. And so they're playing a bit of catch-up right now, and as Microsoft continues to steamroll ahead, it's really making it tough for PlayStation to catch their footing. Even when Spartacus inevitably comes to market, what games will be there to really solidify that purchase? Microsoft has done an incredible job bringing brand new titles day one to Game Pass, and I just don't see Spartacus having that same advantage, especially when it comes to games that now Microsoft owns. Call of Duty will be a day one Game Pass release. Diablo will be a day one Game Pass release. And Xbox also has a pretty strong presence on PC, where you might see World of Warcraft available on PC Game Pass. And for a PC audience, that's huge, because not everyone is willing to shell out a monthly subscription service for World of Warcraft, but with over 25 million subscribers, they are willing to for Game Pass. All in all, it's turning into a bit of a monopoly for Microsoft, and I just don't see where Sony can plug themselves in and compete. Just looking at the rest of the industry, there's Capcom, and yeah, they're a big publisher, but I still wouldn't compare them to an Activision Blizzard. Then, of course, there's Ubisoft, and Ubisoft has been really close with Microsoft recently, and I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft is also buying Ubisoft at some point. I really wouldn't be. They just announced that Rainbow Six Extraction would be day one on Game Pass, and also that Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox consoles exclusively. So there really wouldn't be any surprises if Xbox did jump in and actually purchase Ubisoft. We've talked about Square Enix, and that to me makes the most sense because they've had such a tight relationship with PlayStation in the past, and they're doing really well with Final Fantasy XIV Online, and there are a lot of Square Enix franchises that people just associate with PlayStation, so if PlayStation were to go for anyone, I think they would have to look in that direction. And then Sega and Bandai Namco, there are some good franchises there as well, but again, nothing here is on the size of a Bethesda or an Activision Blizzard, and that's where it really gets tough to see where PlayStation is going to kind of get that leg up. So guys, let me know what you think. The deal is still open. It won't close at least for another year, and in that time, there's going to be tons of interviews and more questions that arise and game announcements and so many things revolving around this deal, and hopefully, if you guys enjoy it, we'll continue to cover it. So let me know what you think in a comment down below. But guys, thanks for watching. I know it's a little bit out of the norm for the channel, but this is literally history in the making, and I just had to be here for it. So leave a comment with your thoughts, toss a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey, I'm out.